Good day, folks. This is Judy, Green Pasture Farm. We've got a major brush clearing going on here, and we got our work cut out for us. We're about halfway done. We had it. Most of the brush was cut off on the right, and then today we tackled the brush on the left side of the fence. So everything on that side, of course, when you cut it, it fell into that road down there. And that's a busy road. So we dropped a tree across that road probably 20 times today. We made sure we had somebody standing down there in the road before we dropped the tree to block traffic. I think all day long we only stopped, I don't know, maybe 4 cars, and they were pretty nice about it. You know, we didn't leave the tree we were working quick. We got the tree out of the road quickly, and everybody that went by after we stopped them, they had a smile on their face and they waved. So you really can't, expect much better than that. This is the Judy farm. This is used to be the second farm that I bought back in, gosh, what year was that? 1992. I built the new house behind me in 91. And then the next year we bought this. This is called the North Place. This is part of my Uncle Scott's farm. And yeah, a lot of y'all know or remember me talking about Uncle Scott. He was a bachelor, just a super guy, and traveled the world all over. And anyway, he passed away way too young. He was killed by a drunk driver in 1968. And his brothers and sisters, my dad and my aunts and uncles, they kept this farm, luckily, for 30-some years until I got old enough. I had a steady income from my town job. And folks, this land back in those days, I thought it was expensive, and it was all I could do to get what we got. And yeah, you can't cry over spilled beans, but I was scraping when I bought this. And if it hadn't been for Uncle Dan, had 2 payments a year, 6% interest, and I had to put 10% down. And when I tell you what I gave for it, you're gonna think, well, boy, Greg sure was lucky. But folks, that's just what land was selling for back in those days. This first piece here I got for $400 an acre. And it was all I could do. And heck, I was working a factory job, folks. 40 hours a week, and I was trying to get overtime. If I got overtime, I could get up to 60 to 65 hours a week. And, that helped. But when you're only making $7, $8 an hour, you laugh about it today. That was a lot of money back then. That was good money. Heck, you were living pretty high on the hog at $7, $8 an hour. But a new truck didn't cost $80,000 in those days, or a gallon of gas was 65 to 70 cents. Things just cost different. Okay, so when you say, well, my goodness, $400 an acre, that was a steal. No, it wasn't. That's what the land was bringing. You could have bought as much of it as you wanted at $400 an acre. Problem was getting the money to do it. And so I bought 3 pieces. I had 3 mortgages going at one time, plus that new house that I built. And I was making $7, $8 an hour. So I started staying in houses and decks after work. So I'd get off work, I'd run down to Columbia, and I'd work until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And I bid these jobs, power spraying, wood houses, putting stain on them, 2 coats. And it was a really good, I made as much after work as I did during my work hours. And I was my own boss. I did that for about 2 years. So, you know, I was working, I was burning candle, you know, long days. And, but I was determined that I was going to pay this farm off. And so yeah, that's a little history of this. We call this the North Place, and there's our Airbnb. That was Scott's house. That's where 9 of us. We moved back here from Minnesota. That's where we lived, that little 2-room house. And the toilet, the outdoor John was back there. And there was no running water in that house. It wasn't insulated. The wiring was suspect. I don't know how we didn't keep from freezing to death in there. Had an old wood stove in there. And, but you know what? Shoot, I thought we were living in the Taj Mahal, man. I never felt that we were poor. Even though we didn't have much. But I didn't feel like that. Because Mom always made us feel like, you know, the world was our oyster. You just had to work. And if you're willing to work, you could have anything you wanted in life. That's the way we were brought up. We weren't given anything. We had to work for it. And so I get tickled that people today say, oh, Greg, you're lucky. You got this and you got that. I'm like, no, there wasn't any luck in that. There wasn't any luck in that at all. It was work, just like today. This is work. But you know what? When we get done, this is all going to be restretched. And we're going to put in some more braces in here. This was put in 1992. And the brush just took it. Well, you can see from the size of the autumn olives. We're going to cut these off. But there's a lot of dirt in them. And I didn't want to get my brand new chain down in the dirt on some of this. But we're gonna whack these off. These all have been painted. They've all been painted with crossbow and diesel fuel. 1 quart of diesel fuel to 5 gallons of red diesel. Let me back up. 1 quart of crossbow with 5 gallons of red diesel. Why do I use red diesel? Because it shows up better on the stump than clear diesel does. So you can tell exactly which stumps have been painted and which one you haven't. But yeah, we're gonna get those chopped off, and then we just haven't had the kind of weather it takes to get in here yet. We've had a pretty good rain, and it's a little bit soft out here. I am not going to bring my tractor on my high quality pasture out here and make ruts and compress the soil, which retards grass growth. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to catch one of those mornings when it's, 5 degrees, ground is froze like concrete, and I'll come in here and we'll scrape all this up. It won't take me, shoot, I can get all this stacked in probably about 30 minutes with those grapples. It's unbelievable. I mean, you just get in here and you just start pushing. You start pushing, and when you can't get any more in there, you stop and you crunch them together like that. Pick it up, take it down the holler, make you a rabbit tat. Put you a rabbit tat down there. Something for bunnies to live in so the coyotes can't get them all. But it's a lot of work, people, I had a farm tour, I guess it was a couple of days ago, and one of the folks on the tour said, man, this looks like a lot of work. And I'm like, well, if you're afraid of work, this probably isn't your profession. You probably ought to get a desk job, get you one of the real nice comfy chairs, get you a heated office or an air conditioning office, and, knock it out. Knock it out, be happy. But if you get tired of being inside and you want to get out here in nature, this is God's world out here, folks. We get to work in it every day. And I just couldn't, I did it. I worked behind a desk, and every day I did, there was one day closer to doing this, and I knew I was going to do this. but it was going to take some work and some planning, some dedication, doing without, and yeah, you can't start with everything. You've got to work your way into it. And I see so many young guys getting in what we call machine heavy, cattle poor. What do I mean by that? They got all their money invested in machinery and they've got 12 cows or 20 or whatever. They don't have enough cattle to make the payments on all their little toys that they think they've got to have to be in the cattle business. Just don't. And it doesn't work. You got to be overloaded. You need to have more cattle than you have machinery. And then over time, if you want to buy a new four-wheeler or a tractor or one of those things or whatever, you can do it later on. Go write a check for it. But folks, get out of debt. Get out of debt. If you're in debt, work everything you can to get that debt paid down. I was double upping on those payments. When I had 6% interest, 2 payments a year, I was making 4 or 5 payments a year. And I got it paid off, you know. That felt good. Every year, every time I made a payment, I was knocking the heck out of the principal. You know, getting that principal down. You get that principal down, your interest payment would go down, and it kept going down, it kept going down. It was a feeling of empowerment to see that loan disappear. And then everything was mine. I wasn't paying any interest. So interest will get you. You're working for somebody else. When you're paying interest, if you got a credit card and it's maxed out, whew, man, you're in trouble. You got to do something to get rid of that credit card, folks. There's nothing wrong with having a credit card, but pay it off every month. Never, ever pay interest on a credit card because it's 25 to 30% interest. And you'll never get out of debt. Everything you're working for, you're just giving it to somebody else. So I'm going to get off that horse. I don't know where I got onto that at, but we got a lot of work here. I'm going to show you when we get her rocking and rolling. We got several projects rocking and rolling right now, but we got a grazing school coming up. We've already got people signing up. It's crazy. I just announced it this morning, but it's coming up. That's going to be the second week of May, 7th through the 9th here at Green Pastures Farm. Go to our website, greenpasturesfarm.net, and find out, you know, come find out what we're doing here. You know, it works. It works. It's a great living, but you got to structure it right. You got to have the right grazing management. You've got to have, you know, good water. But you don't need to go out and bankrupt yourself putting in all this excessive stuff that people tell you that you need. Come see what we're doing. We're going to have Greg and Debbie Brand here. Debbie be the first time that she's been giving a talk here at our farm. I've heard her speak in Tennessee, but she's unbelievable on marketing. Greg is a seasoned grazer from Tennessee. Been in the business over 40 years helping other farmers. They've got their own farm. They're knocking it out of the park in Tennessee. And we had Greg here several years ago, so he's coming back this spring and bringing his lovely bride with him, Debbie, and it's going to be a great time. Hope to see y'all there. greenpasturesfarm.net. That's where you can sign up. Have a good one.